shortcuts. Might have seen no shortcuts. Here to give you motivation and a little bit of inspiration. No shortcuts. Me and the boss ain't easy. Every day somebody needs me. It's no shortcuts. I wake up stretched, say a prayer, coffee and then some fresh air. Time to get it poppin'. I got a fresh 24. Hopefully I'm blessed with plenty more. Meanwhile, I'm thankful for the fire on the inside burning. I keep earning as the world keeps turning. The thing about life is you never stop learning. Hoping everybody Maxwell, Vernon. You make a plan, then you stick to it. Even in tough times, get through it. So get to it. And make sure your family's straight. We going worldwide, you understanding me, mate? Providing a platform where like minds can meet. Closed mouths don't get fed, want everybody to eat. On Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Tuesdays at noon, let's all get rich. It's no shortcuts. Tell a friend to tell a friend about the No Shortcut Show. Yeah.
What's
Microphone
up?
check 1 2 1 2. Greetings and salutations, No Shortcuts family. Welcome to another installment, not just another installment, but installment episode 100. We're glad to have you guys join us today, and we're celebrating. Glad to have you here to celebrate with us, as this is a milestone within our internet TV / podcast careers here, and we couldn't have done this without you guys supporting us, being the wind beneath our wings over these last 3 years. Okay, come on in. Yeah, guys, we're going to shout you out. Former guest, Mr. James F. Masters in here. It says, just waiting for you guys to go live. Yeah, thank you so much. And happy 100th episode to you, a former guest of our platform, Mr.
I think
James
100
F.
episodes, back in the days on the TV shows, when you get to 100, that means you can go to syndication.
That's what we're working on.
That's when the money comes, when you get to the 100.
Yes, sir. Mr. Thomas Neal, a.k.a. DJ83. Good afternoon and congratulations on 100. Yeah, while I'm greeting him right fast, there's my mother. Hello, Mom. I love you. Mom has been there for all 100 episodes. Thank you. Let me shout out DJ 83 right fast. I was able to pair him with another member in our community. Alice just got her entertainment and wedding business and everything started. So she booked my outfit, Mellow Groove, for Christmasville coming up in Rock Hill, South Carolina this December, and I was able to put Mr. Thomas Neal, aka DJ 83, on that event. So that's what we do here. There's Robin's here. Robin's a faithful supporter. Robin Barbie and the Barbs. Thank you for joining. I hope your recovery is coming along. Robin broke her wrist a few weeks ago, so we hope your recovery is going well. Shout out to former guests as well, Mr. Juan Velasquez, Cruise Planners.
He is a pseudo producer of the show. Juan
Pseudo. And also the Travel People podcast. The Travel People podcast that you are also producing. So come on in, ladies and gentlemen. Who else is here?
Thank you, Robin. Thank you.
Miss Lynette Patterson, a faithful supporter of multiple platforms, not just the things I do, but she supports my mom's platform, my sister's platform, so she's family. So come on in, Lynette. Thank you. And you guys feel free to share this on your individual pages. The more the merrier, as we celebrate 100 episodes right here. Not only just on Facebook, but if you're catching the replay on YouTube, well, actually we're live on YouTube as well now, but if you're catching the replay on Spotify or Apple Music, we appreciate you so much. Thank you.
For sure. Robin says the pain is much better. That's good.
That's awesome. I think she's planning to see the chairman of the board this weekend in Albemarle, and I'll get into those announcements a little later.
Albemarle?
Man.
That's not
too far. We got right up the road. I think DJ Nuff says he's gonna try to come out. We're close to home this Friday.
That's his neck of the woods. That's his neck of the woods.
Yeah. So we'll get into all of that.
Let's
by
get
the
into
end
that
of the
in a
show.
minute, because if we're in town, we might try to pop in on
them. Pop bean seeds. Yeah, man. How was your weekend though?
Weekend was good, man. I had a trip to Virginia planned. we do this party every year called Shoots and Apps. So this is the second year I've done it. Shoots and
Okay.
Apps. Um, and it's my dad. My dad actually throws this party every year where he brings in all his friends,
I
and they
remember you
take
talking
it.
about that.
Yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
take it pretty seriously, man. It's like it's not a real contest. He just gets little trophies made and stuff. But they
Uh-huh.
come in and they bring in like a food and then a drink to pair with the food. And then
Mm-hmm.
everybody gets to taste everything. And then you have to vote on the best pairing, the best drink, the
Mm.
best
Wow.
presentation. Oh, he had like five different trophies to give out. And it's just all
Wow, that's
done in,
awesome.
at his house, so, and it's
Hmm.
become a big deal. And we
Yeah,
went
that's cool.
last year and he asked me to DJ because normally he'll just put on like a little Spotify song. He asked me
Yeah.
to DJ it last year and we were going up anyway with the family and
Hmm.
killed it, of course. He's like, yo, you got to come back every year. We got to hire you to
Yeah.
DJ every year. So we already had it
Yeah.
on the books to go this past year. It's always the last weekend of July. And
Hmm.
just this year, my family couldn't go because my oldest daughter, Jaden, was having a baby, and the due
Hmm.
date was supposed to be July 27th. So
Uh-huh.
Emily wasn't going to be able to go because she was going to have to stay back and take care of their other son while they went to the
Right.
hospital to have the baby and all that. And then turns out, and I was the whole year I was hoping they were going to go early, like, oh, babies
Hmm.
come early, we'll be all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Baby
Those
didn't
due
come early.
dates.
Baby came
Uh-huh.
right on the date,
Right on the
right on
day. Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had to make that trip by myself, unfortunately. But everybody
Uh-huh.
was good, healthy,
That's
healthy.
awesome, man.
Birthday first
Congrats.
birth of Violet is here. Violet is here.
Yeah. Congrats,
So
man. Congrats on the new
thank you,
grandbaby. You know,
thank
we
you.
love the
Now
kids here at
we
No
love the kids.
Shortcuts.
They have a boy and a girl now, so hopefully that's gonna be it.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. I had
Yeah,
a fairly light week this past week. I got to shout out my brother real quick for our second guest ever on the platform. My brother Matthew Hardison at Smooth
yeah,
Sales celebrated his birthday with family
yeah.
on Sunday. You know, I had a pretty light weekend. I just had one concert to play last Thursday.
Sweet.
I was with the chairman of the board, but I had a Friday and a Saturday off. I was able to spend that time with my son, and we went to church where I did my minister of music duties on Sunday, and
Hmm.
then went and had dinner with my family. Hit the reset button, and here we are. Here we are.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And thank you, Lynette. Thank you, Lynette, and thank you, James. I am technically a
Yeah.
granddad for the second time now. I told my dad the other day that he's like, man, that means I'm a great granddad. I said, you sure are, but I don't mean I'm a granddad. But yes, you are a great granddad.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But the age and all of that is all in the mind. You a young grandfather.
yeah, I
We were
mean
talking about that
47,
last week a little bit.
47, but I
Hmm.
feel 27 some of the time. So
27.
yeah, so we good. We good. Oh, and then
Yeah.
yesterday, one more thing about the weekend.
Uh-huh.
Yesterday, of course, I got back Sunday night, of course, but I had already committed to. We talked about last week doing the
Hmm.
at the prison ministry on Mondays, and yesterday we had some inmates being baptized. So I was still able to keep that commitment, and I
Yes.
actually baptized. I was the one in the tank, so
Indy
I
Tank.
actually got to baptize 15 inmates yesterday that made the great decision to
All right.
take that step. So that was a
Yeah,
beautiful
that's
thing as well.
awesome, man. Now we got to ask you, didn't drop anybody this week, did you?
Nah, I didn't, but I saw a
All
couple times there was some dudes coming down the stairs, and there was
right.
like a whole lot
Big
bigger than me.
Ben.
I was like, oh, how are we going? But we worked it out.
Yeah, you
There's a
made it.
couple
You made it.
there's a
Get some
couple
ice
tricks
cream
to it to
sandwich.
make it easier.
Hmm. For sure, for sure. Did you want to let them know about going through YouTube directly before we bring our guest on for today?
Yeah, we're
What
playing
you think
around with
about?
the idea. We're gonna probably test it on our next show of just going straight through YouTube Live instead of Facebook and YouTube, and you'll still be able to watch it live as you are now. We'll just post a YouTube link
Yeah.
on our pages, and in our group we'll post a YouTube link in there, and then you can just click on that link and watch it straight from YouTube instead of Facebook, because Facebook is just making it a little bit harder each time to get things right. Today is working perfectly so far, but yeah, we're
Okay. All
gonna play
right.
around
Cool.
with, we're gonna play around with it
Yeah.
and see if we can go straight to
Yeah.
YouTube instead, and if it won't be too hard for our viewers
Hmm.
to just click that link and watch it on YouTube, or watch it
Right.
through the YouTube link that we're posting instead of
Right.
through the Facebook portal, which is not
Hmm.
not as
Friendly,
friendly
huh? Yeah,
to what we're trying to do these days. So we'll see. But
yeah.
thank you,
But
James, for the
whatever the
support.
case, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Whatever we decide to do, we're gonna post it in the group regardless, so you guys
Right.
know how to find us and everything. And thank you guys.
Yeah.
Episode 100. Can we hit the horn, the air horn, or the
Yeah,
DJ
man. I
horn
have an
one
air
time?
horn. I have an air horn. Boom, boom.
I put him on the spot.
Boom, boom, boom. Pow, pow,
Yeah,
pow. Yeah, man.
yeah,
It's been
man.
good.
So
It's been
it's
a
just yeah, it's a
good 100
pleasure and an honor.
episodes. Had
Yes.
this idea a few years ago, and I called my man and said, "Hey, man, you want to do this thing?" And he said, "Why wouldn't
Hmm.
I?" And here we
Yeah.
are,
Why not? Here we are,
100,
3 years
100
later.
episodes later.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a pleasure. And again, I can't thank you guys enough. As they say that if I had 1,000 tongues, still couldn't thank you enough.
That's right. That's right. And look,
Yeah,
be on the
yeah.
lookout for something special I'm working on in commemoration of our 100 episode. Putting together a
Mhm.
little special video. I was hoping to have it ready for the show because I want to make Jerry cry on air, but
Yeah, I've done that a
we
few
were,
times. Maybe what, 3 out of the 100, maybe
yeah,
3 to 4 times.
yeah.
Yeah, it
But
happens
I'll do
sometimes.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that anyway, for sure.
Yeah,
So tell them about our guest,
yeah.
man.
Well, a few weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago, we had our guy in the community, Mr. L.A. Lim, on, and we had a great
Hmm.
chat with him. And following his episode, he said, "Hey, I have somebody that you guys definitely need to have on your show." So, we he put me in touch with this special guest that we have for today, and here we are. After we had to wait on Famous to get off vacation and all the being a family guy, but here we finally are. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, help us welcome to the screen. This young lady is a media personality in radio and television. Currently, the owner and founder of www. Well, I just say daviradio.com, which you can find at www.daviradio.com. She's been in the real estate agency. She's a broker for 22 years. She's one of the industry's top real estate coaches, a worldwide influencer for women over 50. She's a philanthropist with emphasis on youth in the community. And last but not least, she's a vegan. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, make some noise at home or in your office while we make some noise on the screen for Miss Davi Davenport, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay!
Yes.
How are you
Hello.
guys?
We are
Hello.
doing excellent. We're doing excellent. And you're out on the West Coast, so it's early morning. It's breakfast time for you. Normally, it's lunchtime where we are. So we thank you for starting your morning off with a no shortcuts cup of coffee.
Man, first of all, congratulations. I got my pom poms out for you guys. Look,
Oh
Hey,
yeah,
congratulations.
thank you.
yes, yes,
Congratulations on your 100th episode. That is absolutely amazing. Amazing. I appreciate you. And to everyone over at DAVI Radio Los Angeles, thank you so much. And to LA Lim, I love you. Thank you for introducing me to the gentleman. This is absolutely,
yes,
I'm super excited, guys. So, and I'm also a proud mom of a 26-year-old young man
yes.
who's doing
Proud
really
mom. You did
proud mom.
say that. I forgot to mention that tag that on
Okay,
the
I'm
end. Yeah,
I have a proud,
yeah.
amazing young son that's doing great things in the community, and I'm really proud of him. So, and
That's
congratulations,
awesome.
guys. This is fun. No shortcuts.
Yeah, yeah. No
Yeah.
That's
shortcuts.
a title right there.
Yes, yes. So, like we said, we came up. Famous came up. I did a previous platform called "That's My Story" during COVID, 2020. I kind of got my feet wet with the whole podcasting, internet show based thing, and after that ran this course. Famous had an idea to do something together, and since I had already kind of got my feet wet and kind of bit by the bug, I was like, all right, why not? Let's do it. And he and I used to do a lot of events together locally where he would be the DJ and I'm emceeing, and whether my band is performing, or we've done a lot of events together over the years. So it only made sense. So we're glad to have you. And what I'm gonna say before we get into your story and your journey, I was getting ready this morning, and I was like, people who are successful or on their way to being successful have great communication skills. So I wanted to tip my hat to you for just the communication and the timely responses and everything. And I try to do the same on my end. So I was just having that thought as I was getting ready. But I want you to just maybe add a little bit to what I'm saying as it may pertain with you and your dealings, like communication and in a timely manner.
Well, first of all, I want to say that you're hilarious because I was up doing promos in the middle of the night, and I look up, and Midas is up at the same time. He's promoing. I'm like, okay. So you're
Yes.
up. And shout out to my friend Brian Evans, one of my
Shout
longtime
out to
friends.
Brian.
Brian's on here. Thank you for tuning in, Brian. And anyone that's watching this right now, make sure you spread the word about No Shortcuts. This is an amazing one of my favorite podcasts. They're doing great things in the community. You heard the intro of all the things that's happening. So this is a part of the DAVI Radio Los Angeles family. This I'm trying to figure out where I'll make sure we share this, spread the word around, and let everyone know. So I will be sharing the replay and everything as well. Guys, I'm excited. For me, I'm about spreading the word of positivity. So, just staying activated, always in the moment, that making sure people ask me, I'm from Chicago originally. So that's my shout out to Chicago. I'm living in California. I'm a Chi-town girl living in California. And just, I heard something that you said. I think you said did you baptize some people in the prison, you said?
Yes. Famous. Yes. He does prison ministry.
Yesterday.
Wow, really? That's amazing. Wow, I used to work with Soft Sheen and Ed Gardner. He had a program called Black on Black Love. And we would go into the prisons, and I had the opportunity of mentoring and working with some of the young ladies in the prison, met some amazing people. Some people I've even got in contact became out, and they move forward. Everybody, sometimes people think that incarceration is the end of the world, and it doesn't have to be. What we need is we need reform. What we need is opportunities are there, and what a great opportunity that you gave them by baptizing them, because we know the very beginning is to have a personal relationship. I'm not a religious, but I'm spiritual. So that personal relationship with God means everything to me. And just even strolling down the road of being diagnosed with cancer 22 years ago, and they saying I had 6 months to live, and moving forward, and I'm here today. So I just wanted to get on what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been great. It's been great. We're actually coming up on our 2-year anniversary. Actually, at the beginning of next month, we have been in this prison for 2 years. We're there every Monday, and it's been great. Yeah, it's been great.
Amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. Well, fire up. Give me some questions, because I'll take the whole intro if you don't watch me.
Yeah, no. Hey, that's okay. But
you and you be like, wait a minute.
Yes. That because you're quite already naturally a media host and radio host by nature. But what I want to ask you, because I heard, because we normally ask our guests where they were born and raised, you said Chicago.
Yes.
What was some of your early years like growing up in Chicago, your family life and some of your interests and things of that nature?
I grew up with a wonderful, supportive family on the south side of Chicago. My childhood was a great experience. I mean, like anything else, we had hills and valleys, but one thing that I for sure had was love, which I think is the most important inside of any family dynamic.
Yeah.
I ended up opening up my first salon at 22 years old. Was always popular, and I'm sure some people are going to tune in and see this. I have tons of friends, make sure that they share, but always had a popular dynamic. God, I believe, created me to have a positive voice. What's up, Earl Robinson? Another friend.
Yeah.
What's up, Earl? Like, I've been texting people like, where are you right now? What's going on? I'll see you on No Shortcuts. What's happening? We're going to make sure we run this one up, okay?
Let's run it up. Run
this one up. So at 22 years old, I opened up my first hair salon in Chicago. And I call myself, and people have called me, an influencer before that word was something that's popular. And I believe that we have that. And so that's something that a new thing people have come up with to make money. But some of us, like both of you, have been influencers inside of our communities for a very long time, probably since childhood. Brian Evans, who's known me my entire life, will tell you. He sent me a picture of one of my salons that I had in Chicago. I had 3 salons. I opened my first one at 22 years old.
Wow.
And Brian sent me a picture when he drove by one of my salons and said, I bet this reminds you of something. And what it really reminded me of not a success that I had for myself, but it reminded me of a collective success that the community had. But here I
Okay.
was, a young Black woman, showing my immediate community that all you have to do is step out. If you have a dream, if you have a
Hmm.
vision, do it. My mother said to me, I said, I want to open a salon. My mother said, well, you take some money to do that, and you put
Right.
together this amount and out, and we did it, and we
Hmm.
did it, and we employed hundreds of people in the community over the
Wow.
years. That's some of
Yeah.
the beginning. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
some of the.
Yeah, and our whole essence of No Shortcuts is encouraging others. You know, I'm into music as well as DJ Famous. We've had guests on that do a variety of things, but our whole message is to encourage people. If you have a dream or a passion, or if you're gifted at something, to go after it and pursue it. You know,
Yeah,
no shortcuts.
Yeah.
No
very
shortcut.
important. It's
Yeah.
mandatory. I love the
Hmm.
name of the show for that reason. I was thinking about that. I go, no shortcuts. What does that mean when in reference to life? In life,
Mm.
sometimes we want the fast road. We want the quick fix. We want the drive-through food. We know that fast food, the drive-through food, now we know that's garbage. That's killing us.
Horrible.
It's the same thing with
Yeah.
no shortcuts in life. You may advance, you may get a chance to skip the line sometimes in life, but the bottom line, you have to put in the work. You have to be
Yes.
positive, make the things happen. So I'm super excited to be
Yeah.
here and
Yeah.
Here,
and
here.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
That's
So
awesome. So let
obviously
me ask you,
you
oh,
go ahead, Famous. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
when you mentioned that you opened your salon at 22, were you working in another salon prior to that? And was there something that made you say, I need to do this for myself and I can't work for people?
my mother, when I graduated from high school, of course, my family had the path of wanting me. At that time, everyone wanted their children to go to college. It was just
Hmm.
mandatory. And so I
Yep.
say, I say at that time, so anyone that sees this, they won't misunderstand what I'm saying. I highly
Hmm.
value education. I'm very glad that was a huge emphasis in my family.
Yeah.
However, as we know, some of the information that we were being fed was somewhat of misinformation.
Mhm.
However, in my opinion, however, what I did get out of that was you get a chance, you understand routines, you
Mm.
understand getting up on time. You know what that looks
Yeah.
like, and it prepares you
Discipline. Mhm.
for being a business person. In my opinion, my mother was an
Yeah.
entrepreneur my entire life, so that's all that I knew. I said to my mom, I was getting ready to graduate from high school, and I said, Mom, I want to go to cosmetology school. That was a tough conversation. I said,
Mhm.
Mom, I don't want to go. I know that you and my grandmother have put together this money for me to, for me to go to college. Unfortunately, it wasn't as expensive as now. I said, but I want to go to cosmetology school. And my mother said, first, you have to at least go and get an associate's degree because in
Mhm.
order, I said, well, I want to open my own salon one day. And she
Mhm.
said, and at that point, I was 17 years old. So she said, well, listen, you have to go at least. So I went to one of our local colleges and I went and got an associate degree. And my mother said, now you can go to cosmetology school. Went to
Mhm.
cosmetology school. After being behind the chair for about 2 weeks, I was like, I want my own salon. My mother was like, it don't work like that.
Yeah.
But I was like, I want my own salon. 2 weeks
Yeah.
in, I want
Uh-huh.
my own
Yeah.
salon.
Wow.
Like it
That's
doesn't work like
amazing.
that. So I went and worked for another salon at one of the big,
Mhm.
it was called Bonwood Tellers, no longer there, but one of the big franchises. And then after a year, and my mom said, now you're ready. Now you're ready. She
Yeah.
wanted me to learn the dynamics of not only being a stylist, but what it took to be a
Mhm.
business owner, what it took to manage a business. So that's how I
Yeah.
got started.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and I'm
Yes.
sure the clientele you established at the previous salons helped you whenever you went on to open your own. I'm sure you had a people transfer and come over to you still. Would I
Sure.
be
I mean, I
correct in this?
built a lot of relationships. I definitely built a lot of relationships there. And, for me, I have friends like my friend Brian that was just on. I have friends
Uh-huh.
from elementary school. I have friends from high school. I'm one of those people that some people are afraid of social media because they know that they were just no good back in the day. For me,
Yeah.
they like, oh no, I don't have a lot of friends. I don't care
Mhm.
about what. That's because they can't do that because they know some of the things that or some of they don't have the same level of honesty. For me, a
Uh-huh.
lot of people like from friends say, "Oh, I remember when you employed my sister who didn't
Oh,
have any experience. However, she
mhm.
needed a job." When someone comes to me and said, "Hey, I like to be your receptionist," but they had never done it before, but I could look in their eyes and see that it was an
Right.
opportunity that they needed. For me, I
Mhm.
wanted to be exactly what, "Good afternoon, what's up, what's up,
Yeah,
Bishop Jerry."
yeah,
Oh,
that's my dad right there. Thank you, Dad, for joining us. My mom and my dad on here today.
mom
Yeah.
and dad on here. That's the greatest thing to have that support. I miss my
Lovely.
mom every day. My mother's in heaven right now. So
Mhm.
I believe that
Yeah.
we as business people, especially right now, where we stand, I don't mean the election, I mean life. Where we stand right now, especially as Black people, where we stand at this exact minute, I come from a very diverse family. However, I understand also we need to be supportive of one another. We need
Mhm.
programs, we need programming like No Shortcuts on the air. We need
Yes.
radio stations that have female women that own that station and own a
Like
licensed radio. So
like
we need to show
DAVI. Mhm.
a DAVI radio Los Angeles. Some people say
Yeah.
Davi radio. It's not Davi radio because I'm Davi. DAVI Radio Los Angeles is a collective effort. It's Lim,
Mhm.
it's Pat, it's the listeners, it's all of the people that put this together. So that's why I
Yeah.
wanted to clarify that. But it's really important, in my opinion, that we are
Mhm.
supportive of one another. And that's what my
Absolutely.
story was. And that's who I am today.
Yeah, that's awesome. And obviously you have a love for music. And when did you enter like media and music as far as that? So so you're doing hair now. You got your own salon. Now, did what at what point did you venture off and get into media and music and things?
So what's crazy is I was in my salon, and I've always had a philanthropic heart. My
Mhm.
grandmother had a philanthropic heart, my mother had a philanthropic heart, and for me the emphasis, it just organically became things that I wanted to do in the youth community. So I would
Okay.
do free hair in my salon on Mondays for anyone that needed it, for the kids. If I had clients that had lost their jobs, I would, I'd do their hair, because how can you support me and then you lose your job and I don't support
Mm,
you? So that
mm,
doesn't make sense. So I would say to them, whether it was because I also had a whole side of my salon. Well, I had three different salons, but one of the largest salons was where it was a whole barber side. And even with the gentlemen, if they lost a job, I tell the barbers, we'll take care of that. And if they weren't willing to do that, then I said there wasn't a good fit. One time, one of the radio personalities contacted me, rest in peace, Pink House, reached out
okay.
to me. And then I had some people who were my clients that were in the media industry. So they'd always say, man,
Wow.
your
I was
voice.
thinking that. Okay.
But one time, Pink House called me and said, I want to interview you for all that you're doing in the community.
Mm.
And so let me tell you something. I put those headphones on and I
Yeah.
heard my voice through those headphones.
Yeah.
Like, woo! I was talk about being bit by the bug.
Yes.
Yeah. It
Bit
was
by the
over.
bug. Yes, it was
Yeah.
amazing. And it just became natural for me. I have some programs inside of some of the schools. One of my
Uh-huh.
girlfriends is I'm in Deborah Kendricks. I do programs inside of Crenshaw High School,
Mm.
Bancroft Performing Arts School, Hollywood High School. I've done some things as well. Chicago, I've had maybe at least 30 schools that I've worked with out there with different programs, teaching kids
Yeah.
how to produce their own radio and television shows. I
Amen.
That's
believe that
awesome.
today's You Talking is the program. So that's how I got, like,
Yeah.
I heard those headphones. And
Yeah.
then until
And,
oh, you should go on camera. I said, oh, okay.
and this is all happening in Chicago still at this time.
This was obviously I'm a mature woman, but this was in the 90s. My son was born
Hmm.
in 1997, and this was right before my son was born. And
Mm.
Yeah.
I got bit by that and I loved it. And then people just started interviewing me. People started doing write-ups. My friends started pushing that out. They were like, you need to meet Davi. And that's how it
Uh-huh.
started.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's
How
Yeah.
did you guys
amazing.
get started in this? What made you do this? How did No Shortcuts come about?
Yeah. Well,
Well, I could
focus.
tell you just as a DJ and business owner, I started to see the landscape and see what's out there media wise, and I didn't want to do another DJ show. there's a lot of DJs that have podcasts talking to other DJs and teaching DJs how to do stuff. I didn't want to do another DJ show. I wanted to do something a little bit, more all-encompassing,
Yeah.
just in terms of business owners, period, entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
What
Mhm.
can we provide to give other entrepreneurs, whether it be in the beginning or the middle or the later stages of their career, some support, some idea
Mhm.
sharing, some
Mhm.
stories that we've gone through and some of our guests gone through, just to kind of help inspire people to keep
Okay.
chasing whatever that dream is. And like we said, I knew a guy that is really good with the voice. So
Let me guess who that is.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and just to give you a little bit more backstory, DJ Famous and I met. Me being a musician, shout out to my outfit, Mellow Groove, as well as the chairman of the board and the executives. But even before I was with the chairman of the board, we had some mutual friends in common, and they brought him to see my band play. And so, and then after the performance, we were all hanging out and everything, and he and I were just talking, on the side. We had just met, but just talking, and he's telling me he DJs, and I'm like, well, not only do I play music, I MC, I write records, and shout out to you guys. Lim is playing my song "A Brighter Day" on
Yeah.
you guys' radio station out there. Yeah,
Let's
so
see.
that's how we first linked, and we started doing events locally, where we gave other artists an opportunity to perform their music. We would do
Okay.
showcases, and not only just do our own events, but give other artists an opportunity to not just make records at home, but you can perform these records in front of your
Yeah.
friends and your family. And we would
Mhm.
maybe have at one time maybe 12 to 15 artists come out,
Yeah.
and we put a whole show together like that we would do from time to time in the community. Yeah,
Wow, that's
yeah. So
beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
we're looking for more showcases like that right now. We have so many people that have great talent and they
Hmm.
need their talent to be exposed. I had spoken to Lim about the station potentially doing something for 2024 to do a
Yeah,
showcase where the artists come in and really if for it to actually be either free or maybe $25 just for a
yeah.
registration for people that are working the
Mhm.
event so we have something to give them or something very
Hmm.
miscellaneous because the talent needs to be showcased. In
Yeah.
Yes.
Chicago, and I'm sure some people are going to see this one, in Chicago, I had a television show that I did with young ladies called the Chicago Daughters. And we're
Okay.
actually going to be revising that, a different version of that out in California. So we have a major project, one of the first reality shows out there. We actually had Real Talk, Real Women Live. I was the executive producer for the very first reality show in Chicago. And that
Oh
was before
wow.
that's before people were fighting each other on air and
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm
Throwing
sure
things.
drinks
yours is
at each other.
classy. Yours is classy, I'm sure.
100%,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah,
So it's really important that we do what you are doing and that we give people platforms to showcase their talents, that
yeah.
we give people. My friend Earl that just tapped in is a masterful musician that lives out in Buffalo, New York, but
Shout
travels the
out to
world.
him.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing person. So it's mandatory. He feels the same way. Earl says, I believe in giving back to the community. His brother feels this. Inside of the church, they do a lot of things. So it's really
Hmm.
important that we set that stage for our young, for everybody, not even just the young people, for
Yeah.
everybody. I
Yeah.
have people
Yes,
reach out
yeah.
every single day and say, "Can you play my music?" And I listen. I go, "Just give it a little more work, and I'll get you
Yeah,
on."
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Because you can
yeah,
tell they
you're an
may
executive.
in their bathroom or something. I'm like, okay, wait
Yeah,
a minute,
yeah.
almost there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
I
really
could
important. So
imagine.
congratulations to you guys on that. That's really,
Thank you.
really important.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I want to say LA Lim is in the house. Can you pop his you see his
Yeah, there he
comment?
is.
Oh my
Okay, the
God.
first.
What's up, Lemmy
What's up,
Lim?
Lim?
Yeah,
To me, to the fellas. I'm going to tell you something.
yeah,
Lim was one of the, I was gonna try to see what the number was, but one of the first people that I called and told that I was going to be starting a radio station. That's prior to the licensing, because we're a licensed
yes.
radio station. So
Uh-huh.
that was prior
Hmm.
to licensing, that was prior to anything else. And I called him and I said, and that was 7 years ago. And we launched the
Wow.
station 2 years ago. We just celebrated our 2-year anniversary. So what I said to Lynn, I
Okay.
said, well,
Hmm.
yes, I shared it with he and our great Yes, honey, okay.
Yeah, and big shout out to Lim again for playing my material on you guys' radio station, and I catch it when I can on Sunday afternoons, and he plays such a great variety, so I got to tip my
Yeah.
hat at him, and shout out to that new school block, Lim.
Man, when I tell you that Lim, first of all, thank you so much, LA Lim, for introducing me to
For
the
sure.
gentleman. Lim, you know how you meet people and it's one-sided. You guys know you have a show and you do a lot of vast things in your
Mhm.
lives. And so it's a one-sided thing where people only want something from you. And that's been
Mhm.
it's almost been traditional for me in my life. And I don't in some aspects I don't mind that because I've
Yes,
had things to offer people, so I don't mind that. Lim has been a person who it's been reciprocal. Lim
that's
introduces
awesome.
me to people that are interested. He's taken the platform. He said, I knew he needed a platform. He had gone to school.
Hmm.
He had done it back years ago. He told me about him being on the radio before. But I knew with
Hmm.
that dynamic personality that Lim
Yes.
needed. He was the first radio personality that I invited to join the team. I wanted him to be the
Wow.
first call that I made because I
Yeah.
knew for a fact that he would take the platform and he's built himself a
Okay.
dynamic, very robust group of people
Hmm.
that follow him. And that's because not only the music that Lim plays, but he has a big heart. What's up,
Hmm.
Bosh? What's up? That's
Wow.
another one of our amazing friends who is a
Shout
brilliant,
out.
brilliant musical artist. Yes, just amazing. We
This is
love you.
awesome.
Incredible artist as well. So, that Lim introduced me to Bosh. I mean,
Okay.
it is yes, introduced me to the family of Earth, Wind, and Fire,
Yes,
and just
yes. Great
I
people.
know a tremendous amount of people myself, but these are some people that have been up close and personal friends for me. He always
Absolutely.
said, you introduced me to a lot of Lim used to come see me host parties with thousands
Yeah.
of people there. And for whatever
Wow.
reason, there'd be a sea of people, and I would be
Hmm.
seeing Lim. You could see Lim right there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
cheering you on. No, always cheering
Yeah.
you on, smile
That's
on his
great.
face.
Yeah. Big
That's
I
smile.
love
Yeah.
great.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And FYI, I'm still working on my LA Lim pose for my pics. I see.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute,
Yeah.
guys. Let's all do the LLM pose right now
Yeah.
for
How
him.
do we
All
do
right,
Okay.
it?
let's
Just
go.
like
Let's
this?
go.
Wait, let me
One,
see.
two,
Can
three.
we see? I'm over this way. Yeah.
That's the
Shout
LA
out to
Lim.
him. Yeah, Lim is the plug. Thank you so much. Again, like you said, Davi, thank Lim for, connecting us. And that's what it's all about. Again, I hold no shortcuts. As I was saying, I was able to connect the DJ with one of our other members of our group who's just starting, throwing parties and hosting events. I was able to put them together, and so we're all very like-minded in what we're
We
trying to
might
do here.
have
So
to
that's great.
make this a TikTok viral situation where you're gonna create the song
So
"Do the Limb," and then we're
I'm gonna
gonna
make the song,
do the limb, and it's
and
gonna be a
everybody
dance.
does it.
It's gonna be a
Hey,
dance
you might
attached
be
to
on to
it, and
something.
we're gonna have
You might be
everybody
on to.
doing the limb on TikTok.
All
There we
right,
go.
put that in put bookmark that and see what we might
Yeah.
come up with.
Do the limb.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where you got this name, famous. Famous. So
Hey,
Yeah.
I said, okay, I love that. Where did famous come from?
A friend of mine, shout out to Jimmy. I
Jimmy.
used to there was a brand of clothing brand called Famous Stars and Straps, and it was
Okay.
sold at like PacSun and some of the young stores. It was a brand that was started by Travis Barker, the drummer from
Oh,
Blink
okay.
182. So it was always these t-shirts that said famous in big letters or big F, and I just wore them a lot because I liked the design. So he just said, "Hey, what's up, famous?" That's what he just started calling me all the time. "Hey, what's up, famous?" And it just stuck. It stuck. I just became DJ
Love
Famous.
it.
So
Okay,
I
why
give
did
Jimmy all the credit for that.
And when I
I
met
love
him, what, 13, 15 years ago, he was
Probably
going by
15 now.
DJ Famous then. So he's been
Yeah,
rocking that name a long time.
yeah.
I
And it
love
fits now. It fits. I don't even really call him
We
Travis. I
just
call him Famous.
we
it
spoke it
really
into existence.
Yeah,
one of the things that
absolutely.
I'm also extremely proud of right now, and I think that it's mandatory that we encourage people all around the globe to do as well. Hello, what's up, Lynette? She's LA
Yeah,
Lim dance. That's right, girl. You
That's
already
right.
know how Lim has people all over the globe doing it. I was like,
I
man, you just
saw.
Yes.
I
he
see the
really
pics.
does. So he's doing amazing. He said, now that's what's. Oh, thank you.
Hmm.
One of the things that I think that it's very important, and when I have the opportunity, because that's what it is to participate, and I'm going to make sure I share this and share this and share this. It's also mandatory that we encourage people to get into property ownership. And you
Mhm.
mentioned everyone when you introduced me, 22 years in the real estate
Yes.
industry, and so started out in hair. The having right now, someone asked me. They said one of my friends said that her
Mhm.
sister's very concerned because she got laid off of her job, and she said, "Davi, you because I've coached thousands of people. I've coached people to maybe hundreds to seven figures, hundreds to six figures, and I've helped
Uh-huh.
maybe 60 to seven figures and hundreds to collectively through my last
Yes.
brokerage to help agents
Mhm.
get to that. It is so important that we encourage people in our circles to get into the real estate industry. But what I really was going to say when she asked me about, because people will call me when she asked me about her sister being laid off, I said, you know how you combat that? You combat
Mhm.
that by taking a talent that you have and finding a way to monetize it. You
Yeah,
take
never get laid off.
something that inspires you, and you take a class that you crochet, then do a class online. There's a platform called
Mhm.
Teachable you can use. It's amazing. There's other platforms that's a great $99 a month. You can make thousands on it. You find out
Mm.
what you do. You're a great cook, find a way just to get started. Make
Yeah.
some plates. Go old school again. Make some plates, and then look into
Make
maybe
some
a
plates.
make some plates. Take them around
Yeah.
the salon. We used to buy food from the when they come to our salon. We had certain people brought
Mhm.
us food every week. We knew we try, and then branch it into a food truck, and then
Uh-huh.
branch it into a food truck, and then maybe a small restaurant or whatever you want to do. But that's where it all starts, and that's the very
Yes.
beginning. So that is it's so important when we have the opportunity. I believe as media personalities, we
Mhm.
have the responsibility to use our platforms to spread positivity. The reason why I
Absolutely.
about joining you today was because that's what your platform is. That's who
Awesome.
you all are. And then I decided in 2002 I got my real
Mhm.
estate license. It was actually this top of 2003. My mother, I was diagnosed with rectal cancer
Mhm.
December 3rd, 2002. I was still in my 30s. I had been
Mhm.
going back. I'm segueing into what made me say
Yeah.
all this.
Take your time.
December 3rd, 2002, I went to the doctor. I had been going back and forth, couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. Going back and forth, going back. I was living in California at that time.
Mhm.
And finally, I was trying to go to church on a Sunday. I was too weak to go. By this time, I was just a little over 100 pounds. I weigh 171 now, 5'9". So, I was
Mhm.
very thin,
Mhm.
barely hold myself up,
Mhm.
and still trying to wear a little lipstick, though. Even in the prime of it, I was still trying to wear a little lipstick.
Yes. Yes.
A little lipstick on my face. So I finally get to the hospital. One day I went on a Sunday and there was a young, wonderful, she was glowing. I know God sent her to me.
Mm.
Amazing African American young doctor that was there. And they were sending me home again. I went to the emergency room. My friends took me there. They sent me home. They were sending me home. And I saw her in the hallway and I said, listen, I had my son with me. I said, I have blood coming out of me that smells like death every time I sit on the toilet. I love being
Mm.
transparent, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Ain't that we all grown?
Listen, and I want people to know also to be advocates for their own health.
Mhm.
Yes.
So I have blood coming out that smell like death. And I said, listen, if they send me home today, I'll be dead in 2 weeks. I have blood
Mm.
coming out of me that smells like death. I'm losing pounds by the day now because I'm no longer eating. I'm only drinking liquids because I can no longer have a bowel movement. I said,
Mhm.
I did my due diligence and I need a colonoscopy and an endoscopy. Endoscopy is through your throat, checks your stomach. Colonoscopy is through your
Mhm.
rectum and checks your body
Mhm.
from in the bottom. Okay.
Mhm.
Fast forward, they did the investigation, endoscopy fine. She says to me, here's my home number. I never give people
Wow.
my home number, but you look like I can trust you. I said,
Mhm.
this is my 5-year-old son. I won't be here if I don't get some help. She
Mhm.
gave me
Right.
her number. I called her. Fast forward to how I got into real estate. My mother and family comes and gets me from LA, takes me back home to Chicago to fight for my life. The doctor told me 6 months to live.
Mm.
6 months to live. But let me tell you guys something.
Mm-hmm.
There's a board in the hallway that says patients' rights. If you ever go to a hospital and you feel that a doctor, an administrator, or someone is not servicing you correctly, or you can just say, I don't want them to come in my room anymore. So when he said 6 months to live, I called my mother. I was hysterical. I called my grandmother. We three-wayed on the phone. My father, we all got online together. I'm hysterical. I knew they weren't going to be able to get to me until the next day. So I'm walking the hallway. I'm petrified. I got on my knees. I said, God, they told me I have 6 months to live. 6 months to live, God. And usually God speaks through my heart, or he speaks through my head. This is the one and only time in my entire life, and I passionately love the Lord. This is the only time, even with losing my mother, he spoke through my heart or my head. Losing my grandmother, he spoke through my heart or my head. Lost almost all my money after the market crash, spoke through my heart and my head. But this one time, December 3rd, 2002, when I was on my knees and I said, God, I'm petrified. They say I have 6 months to live. He spoke to me and said, I don't want your life. I want your testimony.
Wow.
I was just boo-hooing. Family gets me. Now I got ammunition. I know I'm going to be okay.
Yeah,
I had a chemo, tons of radiation, major surgery, cut me apart. All of that happened. However, the fun part of it is when I was getting ready to start chemotherapy, my mother said, she took something and slapped it on the table. Pow. I go, what's that? She said, I registered you for a real estate class. I said, Mommy, I barely lift my head off the pillow and I'm getting ready to get chemotherapy. What do you mean? She said, well, what else did you have to do? You always said you wanted a real estate license and now you're here. And that's where the journey started. I was oh my God, the people from the school, that was before online classes were there. So I'm trying to, my family's taking me. Sometimes I couldn't go. The people were sending my work home. But fast forward, that's how I ended up getting my license. Everyone,
amazing.
I have made it my business to empower as many people as I can with the owner, with the power of being a property owner. And that's so important. I just wanted to share, if there's anybody out there right now, if there's anybody out there right now and you're going through something, we all have things that are going on in our lives right now. We all have it, whether it's your finances, whether it's your emotions, if it's your health, check your health. Check your health. Your body will give you signs of you not feeling well. We have to be proactive for ourselves, for our families. My father right now, he's at the end stage of his life. He's there. We're wrapped around him. You have to be proactive and you have to just love on each other, guys. Just love on each other. I know I took a lot of time with talking about that.
Oh, no, that's great. Well, that's your testimony, right?
Yes.
And this is the platform for you to share it. So I'm glad we could provide an avenue for you to share your testimony, because this is going to live.
That's my sister on there. I love you, Misha. Okay. That's my sister. Yes.
Shout out to her. So this is an avenue and a vehicle through which you can share that testimony as well. So we don't mind at all, and we're all spiritual and believe in God, and and love God and know what He means to us and what He can do in our lives, and not just life, but also in our businesses and things like that. So and you're speaking from the heart, and you seem very passionate about that. So we got to let you tell it. What's your tattoo say?
God.
Oh, okay.
God. I have my mother, my grandmother, and you know what? A couple of them I recently got. One of my friends are like, "You too crazy. You too old to be getting all that." I said, "I'll never." I don't think I'm getting a sleeve or anything. But when my friends are like, "Oh, you want to get a sleeve?" Now I said, "Oh, my, you never know." But so,
and you got it where it's kind of hidden. Yeah, that's my mother there. Yeah, we don't mind here. This is an open forum.
I knew from the minute the microphone turned on, I said, "Oh yeah, she's gonna talk. She's gonna talk." So I could just like you said about when you did your first interviews, they knew from that tone of your voice that you should be speaking for a living. For sure.
Well, when I'm given the chance, whenever I'm given the opportunity to the best of my ability, just like I want to have you guys on Davi Davenport Live one day.
Please do.
I've been taking notes since we were talking. And there's some things that I want to, because I believe that we need to have a very strong male presence in
Yeah.
our communities. That's what stood out to me when you said famous baptized in the prisons, because we have to collectively, in my opinion, and thank you, Lynette, for what you said. I appreciate you, girl.
Yeah.
We have to collectively come together. She said, she's my kind of girl, baby. You are
Yeah,
mine.
my mother there.
Mommy, right?
Yes, my mom.
What's up, mama? We have to collectively come together and support our communities. See, we have to step out of our comfort zone of just making sure that just our own homes are okay. People are so accustomed to just making sure. We're in a different time right now. We can't just make sure, because when I came up, if the neighbors, Duchess, my dog is always fired up. She's getting fired up. I have
Shout out to Duchess.
Shout out to Duchess Davenport, girl. She fired up. She's like, what about me?
Yeah.
We have to make sure, you're going to get on next time, okay, girl? We have to make sure, in my opinion, that we as a community, that we come together and we support one another. When I grew up, if a neighbor saw you off your block and she knew that your mother didn't allow that, she would take a switch and take you up the block herself. Yes. So it's important that we, yes, Francis said, church, that's right, baby. It is important. And that's where I'm at in my life. That's why I love to do interviews. That's why I love to interview people. That's why I love having a radio station, so that we have a lot of great things. It says, Lord my God, I called to you for help and you healed me. Yes, Juan. Yes, Juan. Yes, Juan. Don't get me started. After I have the Holy Ghost.
It's all right. It's all right. Yeah.
I'm super excited. Do you guys meditate?
Yeah. A few times a day and pray.
I've tried to. We haven't mastered it yet. We do a lot of yoga. We haven't mastered the meditation part yet, as far as like really being able to get silent and sit with it. But we're working on it.
I mean, just take. You know what I'm finding is I'm taking it step by step. I just go to YouTube and I put in. James is so funny. He laughed. I put in 10-minute meditation. And on YouTube, I just put in 10-minute meditation. And there's like some of them that are good, a couple of them that are like, there's like 10 that are really, and just having a centering point, because there's no perfection. There's no perfection in prayer. There's no perfection in meditation. I like what Midas just said. I do it a few times a day. I mean, look what the Buddhists do. Look how the Buddhists go into prayer and meditation several times a day. Look what the Muslims do. Meditation and prayer multiple times a day. So it's about, I'm about to shout, baby. Let's go.
Yes.
And I'm spiritual as well. Exactly.
Yeah.
Those are
we need that.
We need that, Midas. We need that. We have to go back. Juan said, I meditate to find inner peace, manage stress, and connect more deeply with myself. Yes, because prayer and meditation are two different things. Prayer, talking to God, meditation, listening to God. Listening to your heart is meditation. Listening to your soul is meditation. So these are just some grassroots things that, I'm always here for anybody. Don't hesitate to reach out. You can DM me for anything that you need.
Please.
You follow me, I'll follow you back. I'm on Instagram, guys. Davi Davenport. You see my name right there. You follow me. If there's ever something that I'm able to be supportive of, don't hesitate to reach out to me. That's what I'm about. That's who I am. I have a youth program that I'm starting up for the fall. That's going to be over at Crenshaw High School. There's going to be a lot going on. So what I'd like to do, you guys are in the city, so I was going to say I want to have you guys come out, but I forgot you're not even here.
Yeah, but we'll definitely be on the show, and depending on when you're having it and what schedules look like, we might be able to make it. We'll talk about it.
A few years ago, I closed the entire school down and did an event. I got Guitar Center to give them. They wanted a guitar program. I got guitars. We had food. We fed. Every student was fed. Every student got gifts. Every student in the entire school and the teachers. We shut the whole school down with today's Youth Talking. So I'm super excited. Yeah, guys. I know we're running out of time. I think I talked through the whole short thing.
That was perfect. That's exactly what we want you to do.
Nah,
Your
that's
mom said,
that's
"This is my kind of platform today." Oh,
yeah,
you're really making me feel good, girl. Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
Juan says
Yes.
Robert
Robert
Moore
Moore.
taught me about meditation. Shout out to Robert Moore and his show God's Glory and Men's Real Story. Robert was actually with us yesterday at the prison as well.
And he's been on here before,
Yeah.
former guest. Yeah, we've had all types of people, man. And like you said, Davi, I mean, we want to give back and inspire others. So you sharing with us today, I mean, we just turn you loose, let you
Yeah.
go, because
Yeah.
But
you
you can
know,
say, don't turn me loose, because guess what? One of my friends was like, "Girl, we need 2 hours for you, because by the time you take your
I know.
hour," and then
Yeah.
her co-host, she was joking, but it was.
yeah,
I also want to address something that you said for
sure,
anyone that's tuning in right now or sees this later.
sure,
Number one, we have to share not only this episode, but we have to share for any of my personal friends, family, or anyone out there that are your followers. Please share not only this episode, but all episodes, because
Yeah.
these are things that we need. You mentioned something. You said Davi is a vegan. So for
yes,
me, I believe so this that was a fast. Oh, it sure was,
it
James. Okay, that's what
is.
I
Yeah.
said. I was like, but wait a minute. When I was diagnosed with cancer, I decided that has it been a perfect journey for me? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I haven't had red meat or pork in 22 years, but I
Mhm,
have had chicken, which now I haven't had in 3 years.
mhm.
I dabbled with a little fish, and I just completely walked away from it again, because I went straight vegan, no meat, no anything, for about 6 years into my cancer. So I didn't have any, because
Okay,
I can't process it. Red meat and
okay,
pork stays in your system for
too
days,
long.
sometimes at least
Mm,
a week. Fish
mm,
may stay, chicken stays in for 4 or 5 days, fish for 2, 3 days, and vegetables come out the same day. They come out, and that's
wow.
what we're. I'm not pressing everyone to be a vegan, but I am pressing everyone to take responsibility for your health.
Hmm.
If you can, do more produce. If you
Mm-hmm.
can, drink
Yeah.
more water. While we've been here, I have water with me, and I make sure that I'm doing at least a half a gallon of water a day. I'm
Hmm.
making
Yes.
sure I do that, because that is when I left the hospital. I asked my doctor, I said, "What's the number one thing that could bring my cancer back?" He said, "Stress is number one."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Lack of hydration is number two. Lack of exercise is number three, and then food." He said,
Mm.
and he said the food and the exercise kind of hand in hand. He
Hand
said
in
that
hand.
those things. So for anyone that's out there, make sure you're paying attention. Cut back on that fast food, that
Yeah.
garbage. We know for a fact that certain things run in our communities: high blood
Mm-hmm.
pressure, diabetes. Some of those things, most of those things, can be controlled with what we eat.
Hmm.
Yes.
And that's for
Absolutely.
any group of people. That's for any
Mm-hmm.
group of people. What we eat: hypertension, that's salt;
Mm-hmm.
diabetes, that's sugar.
Sugar.
Hmm.
We don't need things that are spiking our insulin. We don't need things that are doing that. So for anybody that's out there, make today and start, and I'll close with this one.
Sure.
Start journaling. I don't mean close, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean my last statement until I give you a chance to talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's okay. You're a
That's
media host as
perfect.
well.
Start journaling, guys.
Hmm.
Start writing down your feelings, your emotions. Start writing down things so that you're able to process these things in a certain way. There's a lot of unleashed stress, but there's
Hmm.
also a lot of unleashed creativity inside of
Mm.
us that you can't tell everybody everything. Your own
Mm-hmm.
husband might not understand an idea you have on the spot. It doesn't mean he doesn't adore you. Your wife may not get it. They may
Hmm.
worship you. However,
Mm-hmm.
it may be just meant for you and God first. It may
Mm-hmm.
just be meant for you. So journal it. There may be some
Mm-hmm.
things that you're not ready to talk to anyone about, but you need to process them. There's a
Yeah.
lot of things that we purge. There's so many things that people have in their lives that they experience as childhood that they're allowing to suppress them even today. Oh, my dad didn't like this. Oh, my mom didn't like this. Oh, I didn't live in the right place. I didn't have people come on everything. I didn't have the right bike. I didn't have the right this. Then write that down and get rid of that
Mm-hmm.
for yourself, because there
Mm-hmm.
is no, Show me a picture of her. Show me a perfect family, and I want to take a picture of it. Of that.
Yeah.
Let's start watching what we eat, and let's start decompressing with prayer, meditation, and journaling.
Great
It doesn't
stuff.
have
Great stuff.
Get yourself a little bind. I got this from the dollar store. I buy them. I go get 10 at a time. 99-cent plus store. I go get 10 at a time. And I write down what I have a 26-year-old son. I write down things that I wish I had done differently. I write down things that I want for. Absolutely, because parenting doesn't come with a manual. So I write down things.
That's true.
I've done this differently because I want to be able to process things in my life. So I have had so much fun here today, guys. When I tell you,
no, it's been a blast. Very inspirational.
Over here, I went into a little.
That's important.
That's important. That's all right.
That's
That's all right. That's that spirit moving, you know. Oh, I was a shout out to my mom. She go ahead, Famous. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna end on that point of journaling because Cornelius just a couple of weeks ago was hammering that same point about the importance of journaling. Cornelius Kirk was on the show, and also you know, to your point about taking care of your body and watching what you eat. Big shout out to Joe Green, former guest, a friend of the show as well. And check out his book, Early Screening Saves Lives is the name of his book. Make sure you check that out as well. That was very, very important stuff. Miss Francis has journaled all her life too.
Okay. She said what I was about to say. Yeah. I remember being a kid and my mom would be writing. She had a drawer full of different books, writing and stuff like that. So
Francis, when we were coming up, they called them diaries, didn't they? Every girl had a diary. Every girl had a diary. Anybody over 50 years old had a diary. Trust and believe.
Diary.
Little locks on them with a little key also.
Oh, that's right. I forgot them. And you could order them through the Weekly Reader. That little mag. You could order your book.
Francis, we might need to come out with that one again, girl. Make us some money together. Maybe we need to launch the diary again with a little lock on it. Francis, call me, girl. Let's make some money.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Speaking of calling you, how can people get in contact with you when they want to follow you and hear more about what you're up to?
So you know what? I'm really open. Some people think it's crazy. You can reach out to me if you want. You can text me at 323-239-0239. That's 323-239-0239. You can follow me on social media. I'll follow you back. You can DM me with any questions. I also have a book that's going to be launching in October. It's called Guess What? You Got 6 Months to Live. And trust me, I'm going to talk to you guys about part of what saved my life, including falling in love with someone in their 20s. So it was needless to say that was
you gotta come back on to promote the book.
And
definitely want to. Yes.
Yeah, and guys, don't forget to log in and follow www.daviradio.com.
So it's radiolive.com.
Oh, Radio Live.
Radio Live. The station runs 24 hours a day. We're having our entire engineers are in. I put a post on my page. Our engineers are in London. So for the last 4 weeks, we've had maintenance done on the entire station. So I think Sunday we'll be back and running. We have Real Talk, Real Women Live that's joining. We have our gospel show that'll be going on right before Lynn. We have a lot of new shows that are launching. I'm super excited. So DM me or don't hesitate to text me at 323-239-0239. You follow me, I'll follow you back. Let's make it happen, guys. Thank you so much for today.
Yeah. And I meant to ask you, how long have you been in LA? I don't think we covered that little bit of information.
So I've been here multiple times. I came in 2000. I was diagnosed with cancer in 2002. So I was back home. I moved back in 2010. My mom passed in 2007. My mother passed in my house in my arms. I took care of her until her last breath, as I did my grandmother. I believe in caring for my loved ones. And my son and my brother are caring for my father in Chicago right now, so I can make sure I took care of the family financially while they handled their business, because my father is more comfortable with them doing the personal things that he needs done that I might not. He's a big guy also. So and then my grandmother called me and said, "You have some properties here. I'm not a landlord. I'm collecting rent for you." I moved back in 2013. And I came back 1 year later in 2014. I've been here ever since. So I just celebrate. That's not true, Davi. September the 15th, the day before my son's birthday, I'll be celebrating 10 years.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, yeah. So y'all make sure y'all follow Davi on her socials, and if you contact her, don't be playing on her phone now. Make sure it's serious inquiries, because if you play on her phone, she gonna tell us, and we're gonna have to deal with you. Now this has been great.
They'll be mad that they did that with me. They'd be like, "She was crazy." You should see what the response she did. When the prank callers call me, I prank them back. I'm like, I go, they're like, they don't know me. They're like, did she just prank? They call me. I said, who is? I go crazy with it. Oh yeah, trust me. I'm the oldest teenager in the world.
There you go.
Awesome.
This has been what a way to celebrate and commemorate our 100th episode. I think it's been great. You've definitely
perfect way to
inspired us. Yeah,
See,
and thank you for.
I had my pom-poms ready for you all.
Yeah, episode 100.
You see that? You see that? I had those pom-poms ready to celebrate you. I'm always going to be here cheering you on. You guys are officially one of my favorite media platforms. I love what you're doing. I will continue to spread the word. We have to support one another. If you share, I tell people this. I said, if you shine a bright light on me and I shine a bright light on you, we all glow together.
Yeah, I like that.
Together. People ask me all the time, why are you so, you have no problem sharing about, I share other realtors' information. I mean, I share, I have a real, sometimes in the same state with me. I'll say I was out. Yeah. Why not? Because
community over competition.
You want Davi, baby. It is what it is.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's what we say here too, community over competition. And that's why we don't mind sharing the plug, as they say.
That's a perfect way to close it out, Midas. Go ahead with it.
And I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of the board and the executives will be in Albemarle, North Carolina this Friday. And we will also be in Radford, Virginia this Saturday. For more information, you can check the flyers on my Facebook page or go to www.thechairmanoftheboard.com. Pretty light weekend. We got to go meet the teachers this afternoon. My son starts school Thursday. So I'm just, all of my focus right now is getting all that information, what the scheduling is going to be like, and we got to transition back into that routine. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Famous, you got any closing words? Yeah, Robin, we'll see you.
No, this was a great show. Nothing happening this weekend for me. We're going to be keeping it low key. We still have one more week on our end before kids start back to school. So we're thinking about maybe popping one more quick vacation out next week, and then school starts the week after that. And then I'll be back to work.
Famous doing the family thing. If he goes on vacation next week, guys, we may have to skip a week and come back. But we encourage that balance with
I'm gonna be your co-host. I'm gonna be your co-host when he goes out of town next time.
Yeah, let's start doing guest hosts. Let's start doing guest hosts. I'm down for that.
Okay, that's famous book.
Let it rotate. Let's do guest. Liv would love to be a guest co-host.
Yeah, bookmark that too, famous. She's throwing us some wonderful ideas today, as well as famous with the LA Limb dance. Well, I think that's gonna do it. Davi, we thank you one last time. Stay on the line when we log off, and we'll say goodbye to you separately. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much. Let's hit that applause or that horn one more time for 100 episodes of No Shortcuts. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, subscribe, Spotify, Apple Music. I think that's gonna do it. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of the day. God bless you. Let's do this again. If not next week, the week after. God bless y'all. Much love. Thank you. Davi.